Facts and Two Cents. Happy Wednesday, wherever you are in the world. I hope you are having a fantastic day. Hello to all my friends in the chat. If you hear me breathing a little bit heavy, I just literally ran into the house. I was in the park and was not paying attention to the time. And then it was like quarter to, and it was like, oh my gosh. And I literally had to race back here to do. I was just like on there, I was answering comments, YouTube comments, you guys' comments, and I was not paying attention. And I was just like, oh my goodness, I don't know where the time went. And so, anyways, I am here a little out of breath. So give me a minute. So, until the breathing, hard breathing or heavy breathing stops. And anyways, welcome to Facts and Deuces, guys. How are you all doing? I hope you've all been fed and overfed with Sussex content. And now, of course, tomorrow we know Harry will be in the UK, and Saturday, the Invictus game starts. And so it's going to be it's going to be all Invictus games. And so I am very, very excited about that. I know a lot of our squaddies are going to be going to, or they may be on their way already. Some of them may be there already. I'm going to be at the games. So I just want to wish them all a safe travels. Have a fantastic time. And we look forward to hearing some reports from some of you. I know one of our squaddies is going to be there. So she's going to be sending back some live reports from the games for us here at Facts and Two Cents. And so I'm not going to be jealous. I promise myself I'm not going to be jealous. As I say that out loud to remind myself to not be jealous. So, but we will enjoy it. We will absolutely enjoy whatever they give us. I know all of the teams are all excited and they are all over social media. It is so wonderful to be on Twitter, and just about all of my Twitter feed are Invictus Game stuff. Harry and Meghan at Beyonce, Harry at football, and I was very shocked to hear one of our Australian squaddies informed me today in comments when I was in the park. I just saw this in my comments that in Australia, it's also called soccer. Because I was going on about Americans calling football soccer, to my shock of shocks. And I had to be like, what? What do you mean Australians call football soccer? Are they not part of the Commonwealth? Is this a Commonwealth thing that is called football, not soccer? I thought it was only an American thing. I was very shocked to hear that. But that's okay. That's okay. Our Australian squaddies are calling it soccer. So there we go. That's my thing I learned new today. So anyways. Hello to all my friends in the chat. They say hello before we go on to all of my awesome friends in the chat. And those of you who have joined us that may not necessarily be in the chat, that's cool. Rosa is here. Hello, Rosa. I said, good morning, Fast and Deuces, everyone that's going to be here. Hoping you're having a blessed morning and a blessed day. Thank you so much, Rosa, for your wonderful positivity on this Wednesday. Our awesome moderator, Lydia, is here. And hello, Lydia. And Lydia's gave us the link and I haven't checked in a couple of days, the Sussex Squad fundraiser that's going on. That's going to be ending on Harry's birthday, the 15th of this month, which, that would be also in the middle of the Invictus Games. So thank you, Lydia. So if you need the link, just check out Lydia's post there. Fancy is here. Hello, Fancy. Fire is here. Hello, Fire. Let's see, Emerald is here. Hello, Emerald. And Mrs. S, hello, Mrs. S, how are you? She's like, I already subscribed to Invictus channel. Did you? Very good question, guys. Did you guys go ahead and subscribe to the Invictus channel? Let's make sure that we give them a lot of subscription, because they're going to be streaming the games live. So you want to know when, definitely hit that notification bell so that when they drop videos or when they're streaming, you'll be notified, so you know, and you'll be right there with the rest of us watching. So there you go. Definitely thank you, Mrs. S, for that challenge. Did you subscribe? Hello, Joyce and Lola. And who Vanzola is here. Hello, Vanzola. And our awesome moderator, Karen M, is here, also giving us some Diwali updates. $43,647 raised so far. Amazing job, squaddies. Absolutely amazing job with the fundraiser. So thank you, our awesome moderator, Karen M. Joyce Yvette Davis is here. Hello, Joyce. So that is so amazing. So thank you. And Elva is here. Hello, Elva. How are you? So funny. I knew an Elva. I don't know if it's the same person. I don't think so, because Elva's last name is different. But you're the second Elva that I know. So yeah, she was a friend of mine a while ago. I haven't seen her in a while. So wonderful. So it brings back memories there. But anyways, welcome, guys. So what is going on in the world of our faves? Oh my goodness. Well, if you've been living under a rock, or maybe in Mars with a bag over your head or something, you wouldn't have known about this. So, just in case you've been living on Mars and just arrived back on Earth, this happened a couple days ago. Monday night, obviously, was Beyonce's birthday, and another queen, Diana Ross, showed up. And, they had their moment on stage. I was like, talk about two queens. I'm telling you, this is like American royalty here. This is American, especially music royalty. It is just so amazing. Just this whole, Harry and Meghan going to Bay's concert. And of course, she's Queen Bey, and so I think of her as royal. And so it's so amazing, the difference with the two kingdoms. Queen Bey's ruling over hers, and the others with theirs. Just refer to them as the others, but it's just, I love this photo. I absolutely love this photo, and they obviously adore each other. So, it is just really, really wonderful to see what just the relationships and the love and the respect that they have for each other. And of course, again, it was Bey's birthday, and so it just, this whole Beyonce thing has completely, talk about, demoralized the British narrative and just like totally squashed it. It's been amazing to watch. And I think the power of TikTok as well, because a lot of the videos we've gotten about from the concerts and just completely debunking all the lies from the British press and trolls, it has come from those TikTok videos, especially Matt on Twitter and TikTok, who was in a suite next door to the Sussexes and gave us all these incredible videos from them. And, that completely kiboshed the British press narrative about that the Sussexes, when they were the first day, actually the first time last Friday, when they were at Beyonce's concert. And again, of course, we know that Meghan was there Monday night for Queen Bey's birthday. And it just is so, I love this photo. I absolutely love this photo. And I love that Kelly Rowland, who obviously we all know that was one of Beyonce's bandmates when they were in Destiny's Child, and also Kerry Washington. And it's funny because for people who don't know that, they were like, oh, Meghan didn't have those friends before Harry. And it's just like middle photo. Pre-Harry days, and so I just love, one, how they all come together again. And it's so funny with this photo. This was one of those official releases. This is this photo with all three of them, just in case you didn't know, came from Beyonce's company. Beyonce's company approved this photo being out. It's probably one of the only official ones. I think there were two of them official photos that came from Beyonce's company, which I think is called Parkwood, and the photographer was the official photographer for them, approved by her people. And so this is what Beyonce wanted to represent, and so her people put this photo out, and it's just like, look at this. Look at this, and of course today there's a video out. Oh, I forgot to put that in our community page, but there is a video out and about with Meghan sitting. I guess it looked like they were sitting with Jay-Z. I know yesterday we saw one with her and Tyler Perry and all the whole group of them while she was taking these photos. And then there's another one. It looks like she was sitting, and she was sitting with Jay-Z, and I couldn't make out the other people that were there. And so it's just really, again, Meghan is protected by the Beehive. I love it. I absolutely love the relationships. I mean, and again, just how the power of people on the ground, the power of those TikTokers, which I love those TikTok kids. They are just hilarious. They are up on the game and they do not care. And, even now, there are still reporters and news outlets like the Daily Mail and stuff. They're still trying to talk the guy, Matt, into letting them use his videos. And he's like, no, if you use it, I'm suing you. And it's so great to see how he has been trolling them all weekend and he's still trolling them. And it's wonderful to see. Absolutely, absolutely wonderful to see. I saw something from Mrs. S. Mrs. S is asking about Pamela. Petal, please remember to Pamela, I miss her and want to know when she will guest host even for one day with you. I don't know. I haven't seen Pam in a while, on it, to be honest. It's she's busy doing her work, so I don't know that we have the same schedule, like, because my work is flexible in that I am not on anybody's schedule. I mean, I have a lot of work, but not I make my own schedule. She works for companies, so she is on their time schedule, and so our schedules are never the same, in the sense like I am free during the day but not in the evening, and she, because a lot of stuff I do in the evening, and she is most likely working during the day and evening. So we're kind of like two ships passing in the night. We'll say hello to each other, but we don't have the same schedule, unfortunately. But I will ask her. I mean, I definitely miss her, having her here. But our schedules are just, they don't, we just have different lifestyles. And when you have different lifestyles like that, then it's hard to, sort of meet up at a time to do anything. So she did say she was going to come on, and then she didn't. So again, it's crazy schedule. So, but I will ask her. You can catch her. Like I'm not a person like go on the, those Twitter, what do you call those Twitter group things? I don't go on them. I sort of like check in every now and then, and it's just not my thing. But I've seen her on there a couple of times, and she was talking a couple of times. So you might also, if you want to hear and see her, if you're on Twitter, Twitter Spaces, I think it's called. So definitely you can check out there as well. So yes, we do miss Pamela. But see, she is doing well. Again, we haven't hung out in a while because, again, we have very busy and crazy lives. So yeah. But I will definitely pass on. I'll send her a text and let her know that you're thinking of her. I'm sure she'll be really happy to hear from you. Via says, I love how Kelly shut down her haters, and also Carrie. It's like Kelly and Carrie and Meghan. I love it. I mean, I love that, because now they have to come up with some alternative to their lies. And it's like, you know what? Y'all better, I mean, go away. You're like, your narrative is literally not needed. It is not needed at all. So yeah, it's really wonderful. It's absolutely wonderful to see. Let's see. What else is happening? And I'm telling you, Mama Doria, this is Mama Doria, and this is her friend Gina. You might remember Gina, who was with her at the event, the charity event, This Is Humanity, charity event a couple of weeks ago. And she took photos with Gina and their other friend, and they all took pictures with Kim Kardashian and Kris Jenner. And so this is her and Daria again at the show on Monday night. And so Meghan was there with her and Daria, and she put out. Again, they are so social media savvy. She's actually an attorney, and so she and Doria seem to be the best of friends. And I love that for Doria. Doria, I'm telling you, this mama is living her best life, and I absolutely love it. I absolutely love that she is out there enjoying herself, enjoying her life, and shows like, you can bring me down. I love it. I'm telling you, Mama Doria is just moisturized and just beautiful. What an incredibly beautiful lady, And so you can see where Meghan got her beauty, it's wonderful to see. And I'm like, and she is just like, oh, Elmsey says, the peace of mind is greater than royal and UK media abuse. I'm telling you, when you're at peace and you're living under your tree and you're just having a great time, I'm telling you, there is nothing like it. Nothing ever like it. It is just amazing. And so you can tell she's a woman at peace. And I love that her and Meghan's relationship, that, Meghan could take her mom out and they both, they're obviously they are members of the Bayhive. So they are there just enjoying themselves. So it's absolutely wonderful. Absolutely wonderful to see. And it's so funny. One of our squaddies mentioned this and put this up, and I thought it was just so amazing to see just this. They looked at it as a balcony, Beyonce's balcony. And of course, in Beyonce's balcony, as you can see, with Meghan on the far right over there, and next to her is right in the back of her is Ted Sarandos, who is the CEO of Netflix, and right in front of him and next to Meghan is his wife. I think her name is Nicole. That's his wife there. And on the far left is Jeff Bezos and his fiance. And so it's just like, I'm like, look at this balcony. With all the UK's cry about balcony, balcony, balcony. Look at the top of them is all the Bayhive up there, a little glimpse of the Bayhive at the top there. But look at this balcony, that Meghan is on. Look at the diversity. Look at the joy. It is just, because again, and I love squaddies for that, how they can put things together and be like, look at the balcony, look at the diversity, look at the self-made millionaires on this balcony and billionaires really on this balcony. And you think of that as opposed to this balcony. Sorry, my pictures are a little bit more stretched than I planned on it being. You weren't supposed to be this stretched. I'm still trying to figure out how to do things properly on this platform, but on this app. But it looks perfect on the app, and then I pull it over here and it looks completely stretched. And because I was running in from the park, I didn't get to check so I can fix it. So my fault. But amazing. Look at the diversity at the top on Queen Bay's balcony, and then look at the others at the bottom, the all white balcony. And it is just so, the difference is amazing, isn't it? And what balcony would you rather be on, really? Which balcony would you be having fun on? And I'm not saying that the bottom balcony, the all whites at the bottom, aren't having fun among themselves, but really, what balcony would you rather be on? And it's great that Meghan is on a balcony of people where she's accepted, loved, valued, and she's among people who's not getting who's not begging taxpayers and using taxpayer money. They are self-made millionaires. They made their own money. They worked their own job. They created their own table, as opposed to scrounging off taxpayers to build their table. And so, again, what balcony would you rather be on? But I love it. I love how, it's kind of like two kingdoms, Queen Bay's kingdom and the other's kingdom. And I'm like, yeah. And it's so funny because it's kind of like, the narrative so much in the last, how many months is like, how Hollywood has turned their backs or basically kicked Meghan and Harry to the curb. and how they don't have any friends if you were to believe any of the nonsense in the British press, which is why I say do not read the stupid British press. These people know nothing, especially if the reporters are in the UK. They can know, but they are lazy. They are the laziest people who try to think of themselves as um, journalists that you'll ever come across. Google is free. Google is completely free. And so you can Google the entertainment industry and learn what you need to learn about the business and how it works and how it functions. But they are too lazy. They wouldn't do it. And so they rather sit there and make up lies and prop up lazy royals as opposed to literally Googling the Sussexes or Googling what the different companies have said and about their relationships with the Sussexes and right. But no, if they Google and find the truth, then they will have to, well, I think, write the truth. But with them, even though they know the truth, they still would lie anyway. So, or twist it to make it into a lie. And so it's just, again, do not focus on the British press. Do not read. That's why for me, they're all blocked. And unless someone posts a screenshot on Twitter, I don't see it. And so a lot of times I get in news, it's like somebody posts a screenshot or something. It's like, oh, okay, this seems important. Let me go check it out. But I have them all blocked because they're not looking for the truth. And why me? I'm a person about facts. Why would I go read it? So again, just for this, the two balconies, how different. With all the colors at the bottom and the pump and circumstance with the clothes. Look, when you think of the people, the actual people, how different they are. And it's just like, wow. And a great illustration of the difference, so of the two kingdoms. But anyways, moving on, Prince Harry at the football game for the at the LA. Well, I actually don't think it's the Galaxy. Someone said that, and again, I have not been keeping up with football in the US, so I haven't paid attention to who is who, but apparently it wasn't the Galaxy game. It's another football team. I think LA apparently has two football teams, and I should have looked this up. Someone mentioned it the other day, and I forgot, and I'm just literally thinking about it. And so, but anyway, so Harry, obviously, we know he was at the game against Messi, and of course, apparently this was one of the most exclusive and highest cost tickets. The only ticket price that rivaled this was obviously Beyonce's tickets, to get Beyonce's, because that's that those were the two that were in town over the weekend. And so these two guys who I had never seen in my life, when I saw the picture, I'm like, who are they? And apparently these two guys are with a show called Sunny in Philadelphia, or It's Sunny in Philadelphia. I honestly, I've never seen the show. I may have heard about it a long time ago. I don't know. I don't watch television. I have no idea. But apparently these two guys are from that show, and they're also owners of one of the football teams. So Harry was hanging out with owners, and he was also hanging out with the owners of the Miami team as well. And so I was like, and of course they were all there to see Messi. And we saw pictures and videos of Harry waiting to go into the dressing room. We have not seen any photos yet of his meeting with the teams in the dressing room, unless the players post those things, you will never see, because obviously the dressing room is private, and Harry's not going to share it. So unless the players post it, we won't have, or the owners or whomever else was in the dressing room, we won't have it. But it's again, Harry and Meghan. You see Meghan at the Beyonce's concert with Ted Sarandos. Again, if you don't know who Ted Sarandos is the CEO of Netflix, and also with Jeff Bezos, who is the owner of Amazon. Billionaires, million and billionaires that Meghan, and also Mama Doria was sitting right on the back on the other side of Jeff Bezos. So they were hanging out with those owners and billionaires, and Harry over here in the football game hanging out with the owners of teams. And it's just, I love the way how they're working. You could tell that you know, they have projects together, as we know, but they're also pursuing outside and others, other individual projects, and going about. And so I love the fact that they're not doing everything together, but they are doing some together, and then they're branching off and doing their own thing according to their passion. I think that's so healthy and wonderful. And it's also too, it seems, in like in their relationships, like they have friends together, but then they also, Harry has all his guy friends, and Meghan has all her girlfriends, and they hang out too, and it's just so healthy. That's what you want in relationships. You don't want to be always, all up under your husband or all up under your wife or whatever. You want to be able to, be together and great and have friends together, but then I want to hang out with my girlfriends, or I want to hang out with my guy friends, whatever. And so, that's a healthy way to live, and that's a healthy way to have relationships. I'm not married, but for me, looking at it, I think that's fantastic. So it shows that they're together, but they're also individuals. And so, of course, the British press, someone in the British press talking about it is like, oh my gosh, they're breaking up. And it's just like, you people just need to shut up and go away. You have no common sense, none whatsoever. So, but I love it. And also, too, at the game, as you can see, I was move myself out of the way there. Prince Harry at the game, according to Entertainment Tonight, was also hanging out with Leonardo DiCaprio. That's them on the left there. And of course, this is not the first time they've worked together. Remember, I think it was in last year where Prince Harry was doing this drive to stop this Canadian company. What is it? Rico, I think it's called Rico Africa, something like that. The Canadian drilling company, they were drilling in the Okavango Delta, or the Okavango River Basin. And so Prince Harry teamed up with Rewild, which is environmental organization, to really fight this company and really to get the world to pay attention and to really stand up against this company, to have them to stop drilling for oil in the Okavango Delta, because it's destroying the river basin, is destroying it. And so Leonardo DiCaprio, Harry did this an article for, I think, Washington Post with an environmentalist, and he also teamed up with Rewild, I should say, Rewild. It's so funny. I just got an email from Rewild today because I signed up for their newsletter thing, and so he teamed up with them to put out a letter to get signatures of people to really protest against this company to make them stop drilling. So I have to go back in to find out where they are, because they were still drilling the last time I checked. And hopefully they have stopped, because they were destroying things and still did not get any oil. And so but a part of, as you can see at the bottom, one of the key signatures there was Leonardo DiCaprio. Also, Ellen was also part of, people signing that letter that Harry and Rewild wrote. So they have, at least in that part, teamed up together for this campaign to stop the drilling for oil. Because again, Harry is the president of Africa Parks, and it's all about protecting the parks, the different parks. I think African parks, they manage like 20 parks across Africa. And so they are definitely about making sure that the parks, obviously the animals and the people in the community are protected from all of that, people trying to destroy it for money. Because a lot of times what happens is the leaders in the country that allow them to go ahead and do the drilling, they make money, because a lot of times the oil company would pay off these leaders and whomever it is, but the rest of the community don't profit from it, and then they destroy the land around it. And the people around it, who rely on these parks for their living, they are put out because they're destroying the community. And so African Parks is trying to protect it. And so hopefully they have. So I have to go back in and check the whole thing. But I saw this last time. I was like, yeah, that's normal. That's normal for Harry to be hanging out with Leo, because at least they've worked together there. And I'm sure other things, because Leonardo DiCaprio is all about the environment. as well. Yes, I know. He also flies private jets. Yes, I know. As many of them do. There is, there, yes, yes, there is a level of hypocrisy there as well. Yes, but in other ways, he, as this and other ways, he's all about, definitely supporting environmental causes. So yeah. What else is happening? Um, Sylvia says, Harry, I feel Harry and Meghan have a very, I feel Harry and Meghan are very careful of the new people that come into their circle. And, it's so funny, Sylvia, because people say this a lot on social media, and it's the 99.9% of the people that you have ever seen Meghan and Harry around, or, have photos of them, are people that Meghan, especially when you have to, thinking in terms of California, are people that Meghan knew and were associated with before she met Harry. And so it's so funny to see this on Twitter, because, if you're on Twitter, where people are constantly debunking the lies of, like, oh, Meghan would not have known this person if it was for Harry. Meanwhile, 2012, 2014, all of that, Meghan has already known these people because of, different events, or because through work or whatever. So a lot of those relationships were built before. Even the nonsense, like, I was sharing earlier with Kelly and Carrie. It's like, but Meghan took those pictures with Kelly like in 2014, around there, long before she met Harry, like 2 years before she met Harry. So and again, look, we also have to expect, and I feel like you're so right. They are very careful about the people that they are around, and the people that they allow in their circle. But even with that, you can't, there are going to be times when it's like, okay, maybe this person is not a person we want in our circle, and they have to let that person go, because people do crazy things, and they're not going to be perfect. They're not everybody that they come in contact with or work with, i.e., I mean, look at what Spotify just did. You know what I mean? Who would have thought Spotify would be so completely, I mean, talk about unprofessional. That is the grossest, most unprofessional things I've ever seen. Who would have thought Spotify and their officials would be that way? Who would have thought that that guy from CAA would have been that way? I mean, this is the owner of an agency. Who would have thought? And so you never know. People do crazy things, and so you got to expect, there are going to be times that they're going to be burned. So we also have to know that people, when it comes to people wanting clout and money, they would do anything. And so there are going to be times where they're going to let people in their circle, and really out of good faith, and the person burned them. Unfortunately, that's the nature of Hollywood. A lot of times it is a place where snakes are, and sometimes snakes disguise themselves as sheep, and then it's only later you realize that that was a snake. And so, and again, it's a city and a state of actors. Well, at least a city, LA, if you're thinking in terms of LA or Hollywood in that sense. They're a place of actors, and people, they can act. They act one way, and then next thing you know, it's like, oh wow, yeah, I was betrayed. I mean, look at that woman who Meghan allowed to write an article. It was supposed to be one way, and then she totally went snarky on Meghan, and just, and then bailed off their vacation so she doesn't get the backlash. You're gonna have those things. And Meghan even talked about, trusting people. When they asked her about that article, she trusted, and she basically, violated in some way that trust. And so, yeah, so it happens among our own people. That woman that did that was Black. And so it's just like, oh my goodness. And so, yeah. And so, but I think they'll be fine. I think they're strong enough to be able to be like, okay, maybe we should not have, let's go a different direction. Let's see. Lady T says, in a word of LL Cool J, don't call it a comeback. I've been here for years. That is so right. There's this stupid narrative about Harry and Meghan making a comeback. They're trying to rebrand and all of this nonsense. And it's kind of like, I feel because a lot of this nonsense obviously is coming out of the UK. And I'm like, are these people okay? It's not one intelligent life form among, and again, when I'm talking about the UK, being specific, I am not talking about the people, at least not people with common sense. There are a lot of them on the right wing royalists that are just like the British press, and they're buying hook, line, and sinker to what the nonsense of the British press says. Those are the people I'm talking about, and the British press. I'm not talking about your regular person who can figure out the nonsense, And it's like this nonsense about, oh, Harry and Meghan have to, rebrand, from the royals, and it's just like, Harry and Meghan are doing nothing of the sort. They're just being. They literally just went to a concert. That's all they did. And to the UK, especially the press, it's like, oh my gosh. Americans are like, oh yeah, Harry and Meghan went to a concert. One of our squaddies posted. And then the British press is like, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, they did this and they sat with this person. And it's just like, they literally just went to a concert and danced. That's all they did. Literally, that's all they did. There's no rebrand or any of that nonsense. Antoinette says, yes, but I believe Harry and Meghan are mindful of the people they're around. Look who leaked the list of the football games and showed Meghan and Harry on the list. Yeah, I think somebody, I don't know who leaked it, but somebody, maybe, I don't know, maybe it was even the team that leaked it. It's not a big deal about it. It's just the list of people that they expected at the game. Obviously, Meghan wasn't there. So I don't know how it got into the press. Who knows how it got into the press? But the thing is, they weren't the only person, the only quote unquote celebrities, according to them, at the games. So who knows who did? But I don't necessarily think it was because Harry and Meghan were there that list was leaked. I think there was just a whole bunch of celebrities there because of Messi. So yeah. Let's say, and it was wonderful too because the different leagues were tweeting, especially about Harry, and there was this. Who knew? I only learned a couple of days ago that the Telegraph have a U.S. outlet, and they had one of these crazy right wingers from Florida. I'm telling you, Florida people are so. Florida is, and the UK, they should be on their own. They should be their own continent. You can also throw in Texas in a lot of ways too, but Florida. I mean, the UK is the Florida of Europe. That at least England, I would say, the Florida of Europe, and it's just like they're like one. And so this nutcase from Florida wrote this whole article for the Telegraph US, which again I'm only learning a couple of days ago. There's a Telegraph US about why is Harry getting the biggest headlines for going to those games, and he's complaining that Harry is getting the best headlines. Why aren't people talking about the Beckhams? Why aren't people talking about, apparently they were at the game as well? Why aren't people talking about Leonardo DiCaprio? Why should Harry? And of course, what does he do? Does he write an article about the Beckhams? Does he write an article about Leo? No, he doesn't. So he is yelling at people for not focusing on the others, while he doesn't focus on them either, but put Harry and Meghan in the headline. I'm telling you, Florida and the UK need to be their own continent. These people just do not have common sense at all in any sense of the word. So it is very, very funny. So yeah, now you're seeing a lot of these UK outlets, including the Express, apparently now has a US branch of it, and I don't know. I'm assuming they're all focused on the Sussexes as well. Unbelievable. Yes. J Seed says, hello, J Seed. I don't know that I've seen you here before. Hello. Says everyone has different types of friendship. The ones you can invite to your home, the ones you socialize with in public arenas, professionally, and some that you're just acquaintances. Very true. Very, very true. Not everyone you know either take a photo with or hang out at a concert, whatever, people that you would invite into your home. They're just, friends when we hang out in a social, socially. But it's very, very true. Let's see. Teresa says, live is for living. And that is what Harry and Meghan are doing, just like everyone else. Exactly. Exactly. They're literally just breathing and living. And that's what you got to do. Live your life. Dance like nobody is watching and just live your life. And let the haters stay in their basement and hate. Claudia says, I'm so glad for Doria, seeing her so happy after the Rangers are trying to do to her daughter. Again, yeah, the best revenge is living your best life. That is the best revenge. Live your best life. Let's see. Very, very true. Cupcake and Tiffy Gotcha World. Wow, I have not seen you here before. Well, welcome. Says we need to stop expecting anything nice from the media. I hope nobody is expecting anything nice for the media. I hope that we know this. And so if you are expecting good things or positive things, especially from the British press, I would table that and turn my mind around. Yes. V. Thomas says, nobody cares about these people. That's why we didn't write about them. Why he didn't write about them. Guy is crazy. This guy is crazy. He is like this right-wing nutcase in Florida. And I had never heard about him before until, I saw a screenshot. I was like, oh, God. The moment you see Florida, just... all you have to do is see Florida. And I'm sorry, I know some of us squatties live in Florida. This is not about you. Again, the same as about the UK. This is not about you. There is a right wing, MAGA. It just yeah. All you need to know. It just, the minute you see it, you just turn it off and go. Annie, she's like, Pedal, it's not Florida, it's the Telegraph tabloids. There's a difference. Well, there is a difference in that, yes, the Telegraph is a tabloid, and this guy is literally a MAGA from Florida. Literally. That they have write this article. He's a MAGA crazy person from Florida. There is a lot of craziness in Florida where at this point it's like, it's Florida and everybody knows what you mean, because there is madness in Florida. And again, I'm not talking about right-thinking people in Florida. There is, the DeSantis world in Florida, the Trump world. I feel like that's why they all congregate in this place. There is like, you can't even, you can't, and it happens so often. So now it's like, yeah, Florida, and everyone knows what you mean. And that's why I say the UK and Florida need to be its own continent, because they're one and the same. It's crazy. So anyways, sorry, Annie, but yeah, it's Florida. And yes, the UK Telegraph have a US branch now. Let's see. So this says, I truly wish the UK tabloid would move on and write about more about their monarchy members. They won't. Nobody would buy it. That's why they write about the Sussexes. Nobody would read it and they would go broke, and they know that. And so that's why they write about the Sussexes. And they know that people are more attracted to negative stuff, so that's why they write about that. They have brainwashed their audience so much that they know their audience are stupid and their audience would believe them. And that's why they do it. They feel no responsibility to treat their audience like intelligent human being, because their audience do not behave like intelligent human beings. So they treat them as they've been behaving. They have read their audience like a tea. They are amazing at how they've read their audience, because this is what their audience want, and they basically just feed it to them. And so this is why get into our space, because if that is what you're consuming, if lies and gossip and all this negative stuff, If that is what you're consuming, is that's what you're clicking on, that's what you're sharing and liking, guess what? That is what the news outlet is going to give to you. That's what the algorithm is saying. So that is what they will. It's a reason why I do not click on them. There's a reason why I do not share paparazzi photos. There's a reason why, because I know what the algorithms does, and I know what the outlets do. They're watching the trend. They're watching what is popular. So whenever you click on it, whenever you share it, I don't care if it's screenshot or not, that's what they're looking at. And you can scream like, oh my gosh, I hate this, and how dare they. As long as you click on it and share it, that's all they care about. They don't care about your outrage. You can be outraged from today to the eternity. They do not care. A lot of them turn off your comments. They're not even seeing your outrage. They don't care what you have to say, because it's not important to them. The only thing that is important to them is that you click and you share it and you like it. And they don't care what you have to say. Your opinion doesn't matter to them. Your engagement does. And so for me, this is exactly this, So that's why I'm like, I don't care what you put. I am not clicking on it. I'm blocking you. You're not going to profit from my outrage. You're not going to profit from my, coming at you. It's like, and a lot of them, if you're on Twitter, they will literally write really nasty things on Twitter so you could come under their channel and argue with them. And if you've ever done that, you'll notice they'll never respond to you. Why? They don't care. And especially now, a lot of the blue checks on Twitter, when they post those things, they are literally making money from Twitter every time for all the engagements that they have. So you can be upset as you want, and you go under their post and comment, and you could be, rightly be enraged at the racist thing they said. But just know they're getting paid for you coming under their post. Twitter is literally paying them. So yeah, hopefully we are learning and not doing that crazy stuff anymore. But anyway, moving on from that. Prince Harry. Obviously, we know he's going to be in Germany. Lord willing, gets him there safely. On Saturday. So he's going to be doing the opening ceremony. He's going to be there at the opening ceremony. And then after that, he's going to be going off to appear in a radio show. So the German embassy, actually the embassy in London, says Prince Harry will appear on a TV show, Sports Radio, on Saturday after the Invictus opening ceremony with Defense Minister Pistorius. The questions on everyone's lip is, I guess this is kind of like a show where they also do games. The question on everyone's lip is whether he'll play the show's long-running shootout game. If so, will he go top bins? Don't know what that means, but Harry is going to he's going to take a helicopter, I think, what I understand today. I wish they didn't put that on Twitter, but they did. And so he's going to take a flight from the games to this radio show, and so to be there, and obviously to promote Invictus. So Harry he has his stuff cut out for him. I don't even know that Harry would spend a day in the UK. I would expect him to leave the UK either the night after right after the Welsh Isle Awards, or early the next morning to get to Germany and rest up for the 9th. That's what I'm thinking. I don't see him spending the day in the UK, even though that's the day of the Queen's, the Queen died. But, but I don't know. That's what I'm thinking. Just at least to rest up, because I'm sure he'll be jet lagged. So, but anyways, moving on. And the Invictus Foundation, I'm like, everyone is just so amazed by by Gabe and his story. So the Invictus Foundation is like, who else loved following Gabe's journey on Heart of Invictus? His story is unique, inspiring, and what the We Are Invictus community is all about, and encouraging us to stream 5 episodes. But so many people responded under theirs, and now for me, I'm like, I am so inspired. Every time it's like, okay, I can't do this, or this is, it's like, okay, what did Gabe do? And what is Gabe going through? If Gabe could pull through, and if Gabe could push through, you can push through as well, because again, we know he's living with pain every single day, and he pushed through to, for where he can have, a quality of life that he wants in spite of the pain. I'm like, look, Gabe is going through all that. I can do it too. So, again, if you have not watched Heart of Invictus, I know we've been like feeding on all the videos and photos from Beyonce's concert or Queen Bey. Um, but definitely, if you haven't, go watch it. I'm actually gonna watch it again tonight. So yeah, and it's so funny because I posted just so for the person who commented in Twitter that talking about the Harry and Meghan dancing at Queen Beyonce. One of the video that Matt who that's classy who gave us all those wonderful videos. One of the videos, the last one with Harry doing his dance, it put it, he titled it, when the spirit of Beyonce comes into Harry or falls on Harry or something. So my last I think I titled something in, I think it was our community page, where it's like Harry dancing in the spirit of Beyonce, and someone responded like, I wish people would stop worshiping her. And it's just like, no, we're not worshiping Beyonce, just it was a joke. It was just like, Beyonce, Harry's just so inspired by the music and it's so infectious that it prompted him to dance. So it's not that deep. No one is worshiping Beyonce. They're, in this, it literally is just a joke. And so, but yes, no, there was no spirit that descended on Harry that he got into. Yeah, it's not that deep. Trust me. It was a joke. So relax. There was no, anything other than that. So there we go. Anyways, moving on. Madwell says, Gabe, history story is so powerful. It is. It is. Light side of the moon says Gabe is so much heart, has so much heart. He does. I mean, anyone else would have been like, I'm checking out. This is just too much. And he life that I, and not only that, now he wants to teach people. I think he's into pickleball, whatever that is. And so he is now wants to teach people that. And so he is, I mean, that is a kind of spirit that anybody, not just Invictus. I mean, talk about the Invictus spirit, but anyone needs to have, all of us need to have. And that's why now I'm like, look, Gabe pushed through, I can push through. Joanne says, my God, the pain Gabe deals with on a daily basis is incredible. What a hero. My heart goes out to him. Yeah, any one of us who just can't deal with pain like myself, that was for me just, I almost wasn't able to sleep thinking about that kind of pain, because I can't imagine being in pain every single day of I can't imagine it. And the kind of pain, and you can see his face when the pain hits. It just like, oh, you know. So yeah. Kanita says, I watched The Heart of Invictus 3 times, emotionally at times, but it was very enjoyable to watch. Yeah, it is. It definitely is. Oh no. Does anyone hear pedal sound going out for a few seconds? Oh my goodness, is my sound going out? Oh no, not again. Let me know if you are having difficulty hearing me or hearing. Oh my goodness, I hope my sound. Yeah, just let me know. If you sometimes, oh my goodness, sometimes it's going out. Lord. Lady T said it's fine. Yes, pedal. Okay. The sound is, so some of you, for some of you is going out, and to some of you it's, oh my goodness. Oh yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna take this headset off, and hopefully just using the mic is fine. So let me just take this off. Okay. Can you hear me better now? Let me know. I am so sorry, guys. I am just my eternal problem with this microphone and headset. Like, I literally got new headsets because to fix this problem, and it is still, wow. Okay. Okay, so Angela said it got glitchy for a moment and sounds fine now. And I don't know if that is my internet the problem or if it's just my microphone the problem. Because I'm like, okay. Okay, so Sylvia said it was just for a second, so the sound go out. Okay, okay. So I'm just not gonna use my headset because maybe, and that's brand new headsets too. Okay, all right. So maybe no headsets, and maybe that'll work. So thank you guys for letting me know. I appreciate it. I was just counting on the fact that everything is new, so everything is working fine, and so yeah. Okay. Thank you. I appreciate it. Marjorie says, well, I live in Florida and I called it Republic of Florida, and they have their own laws and they get away with things that I haven't seen in any state. Yeah, the things that Florida has been able to get away with is just you're like, that is not lawful. And they've been able to get away with it, Texas the same way. And it's just like there are some things that are not, and yeah, it's really, really wild. So, anyways, enough of Florida and the UK and their mess. Anyways, let's see, moving on. Yeah, I took off the headset, so I'm just gonna keep it off. Maybe that has been the problem this whole time. Let's see. Okay, so just for you guys, again, who want to know where to watch the Invictus Games, BBC One in the UK is there. You might be able to, you just type it in and you get it, or the link is in our community page. I put the link there, so you can definitely watch it. I think JJ is going to be hosting something as well from BBC, and he did that last year, so he's going to be back doing that as well. And so BBC One show says exciting news every night this week. The One show will be at the heart of the Invictus Games action, bringing you all the latest news and interviews from Dusseldorf. And so this guy's doing it, and JJ is going to be doing something as well as he did last year. So, and obviously Harry's one of Harry's mates from the UK. Actually, JJ is one who always credits Harry with saving his life. If it wasn't for the games, JJ, we would not have JJ alive today. So yeah, I am so happy he is here. And him and Harry are great, great friends. Thank you so much, Lydia. Aww. Lydia says, Pillow, that was earlier. You're fine now. No worries. So, okay. So, just definitely alert me if the sound goes out again. But again, I take the headsets off, so there should be no problems, hopefully. But thank you so much, our awesome moderator, Lydia, for donating. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's see what else. Oh, E. Smith. Oh wait, that just jumped. E. Smith says, I placed my hand over my heart for Gabe, watching him under the water, and with Prince Harry, can imagine others who are going through the same thing as him. Yeah, it was just real. I mean, that was just very much. And then what kind of fish was that was going by them? Isn't that the one with that long tail that if that pierces you can kill you? I was just like, my heart was just like, and I guess that's probably why they were so still, that it was just circling around them. And then, but apparently going underwater really helps him relieve the pain. And so, he moved to Hawaii, and I guess that's why. So I'm just so happy for him that, whatever he's doing over there, that it seemed to be helping him, and that he can have a guy's weekend. And one of the guys on the boat, someone pointed out, was when Harry did the interview with Hoda, the soldier was in the wheelchair whose son bowed to Harry when Harry was putting the medal on his dad. He was on that trip as well. He was on that diving trip as well. So it's just like, oh, Harry had a great, looked like he had a great time. A military guys weekend in Hawaii with Gabe. That is just, that was so special. I'm just like, yes. Okay, Cupcake Tiffy Gotcha World says, nah, BBC can kick rocks. We honor JJ, but not the BBC. Yeah, we definitely honor JJ and not the BBC, but the BBC is the one that's, they're bringing the shows. You don't have to honor them. BBC can kick rocks. I totally agree. But in the UK, you can either watch it there, or if you have access to there, which I'm assuming everyone, it will be available for the world to see. You can just bypass BBC and watch the games live on the Invictus Games Düsseldorf YouTube channel. The link is in our community page, and it'll be also on the show notes of here. So you can definitely subscribe to them on YouTube and watch it there as well. So yeah, you can, tell BBC and kick rocks and and watch it on YouTube. Yeah, a stingray. There you go. Sherry Rare says the stingray. Yeah. And Lady T says a mantis ray. Okay, is it the same thing? I don't know. Are they the same fish? But that's what I thought. I was just like, that is a scary. I was just like holding my breath for the both of them too. I was just like, oh, that's a dangerous thing. But they did it, and they were completely still and let it just do its thing. And it's just like, wow. Let's see. Let's see. Teresa says, being submerged underwater helps with the pain. I scuba dive at an underwater club. Oh, wow. This is so awesome, Teresa. And that's what Gabe said. It's like it helps him with the pain. So, yeah. I didn't know that. So that was something that I learned. I had no idea about that. So there you go. Teresa, our expert. So thank you, Teresa. Ooh, that sounds interesting. Being in a dive club. Wow. Who I'm deathly afraid of deep water, would never be a part of any of those things. I am like have the wildest fears. I have a fear of heights and a fear of deep water. And so it's just like, I hate flying and I hate being underwater. So yeah, that's me. I mean, for good reasons with the water too. It's just like, but what in the Caribbean, it's kind of different. We have a different mentality from here. When you live close to the ocean, it's just like, okay, that's just where you live. It's not a big deal as say here, where you have an oceanfront home and it's a big deal, and that means you're probably a millionaire and all of that nonsense. We don't have that back there at home. It's just that's where you live, and everybody has a boat that can go out. It's just those things are not big deals back home. And so when I was a kid, we obviously had a fishing boat, and with the glass bottoms and the whole thing, and we went out, and someone decided to jump off the boat and swim under because you have those outdoor engine things, and swam under there, and we all thought he was goner. And that thing traumatized me for years and years and years and years. And I literally had to learn how to swim. I still can't go into the deep by myself. I used to be able to swim and not even think about it, because again, we lived there, and so we are always in the ocean, whatever, and without a fear. And ever since that, I was so traumatized. And so I literally, when I had a job, my first job in New York, it was in a gym, and obviously we had a pool and everything. And so I had to learn how to, I couldn't go out without someone with me. I had to go and relearn how to be in the water and relearn how to, it just like, and I didn't realize how badly traumatized I was until trying to go into that pool by myself. I was just like, oh my gosh. So I still have that incredible fear of deep waters because of that thing. And so, and of course I'm afraid of heights, so I hate flying. So I just take a bus everywhere. If I could take a bus or a train to Europe from the US, I probably would. I mean, I fly, yes, but I still hate it. But yeah. But those childhood traumas are, they are a mess. But anyways, let's see. Marjorie says, I think because there's a lot of foreigners in the Caribbean, from the Caribbean and Florida, and many of them does not know their rights or laws, so they get away with murder down there. I don't think this is a Caribbean and Florida thing. I don't think so. I mean, yeah, we have a lot of Cubans who also support, say, Trump and all of that stuff, which is really weird. But I mean, I'm not blaming the Caribbean people for Florida's mess. I don't know. I don't know that I agree with that one. Let's see. A lot of that stuff is right-wing racist stuff that goes on in Florida, which, to be fair, we have a lot of that all over the country, but Florida, it just, yeah, that is at a level that is crazy. So yeah. Michelle says, stingrays are deadly. Yeah, that's why I was just like, I was just nervous for them, because I remember that guy, the crocodile guy, I think that's how he died. He, one of them pierced his heart or something like that, and that's how he died. And so, yeah. So that's what I was thinking of. And I was just like, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, I'm not the only one. Sherry says, I have a fear of heights and deep water. Oh, so I'm not the only crazy one in this group. Thank you, Sherry, for oh my goodness. I mean, this is no fun, I mean, I'm laughing at it, but in the middle of those things, it's very, very scary. And so for me, I've tried to work a lot on my fears. Crossing bridges are terrifying for me. And so especially if I try to do it on foot, and even when there are people on the bridge, it's terrifying. And so I've had to learn, go really push myself to go and cross. And I'm telling you, that fear is real. It is real, because it's high and there's water at the bottom. Both of my fears all at the same time. It is terrifying. So I've been trying and to work on those fears, but yeah, it's something. Lights Out of the Moon says, hi, Mary H. But Petal, I don't do dark waters. Yeah, I don't think anybody should be doing dark waters. Honestly, you never know what's in dark waters. Stay out of dark waters. Terry says, it's very relaxing for me. It's door scuba diving, but I enjoy snorkeling in the ocean. What is door scuba? What does that mean? Door scuba diving. I don't know what that means. I mean, I have a whole family of scuba divers, again, from the Caribbean. They're all in the ocean all the time. My cousins would take their boat out overnight and stay in the ocean overnight and fishing, come back the next day and have cookouts on the beach all the time. That is actually my grandfather. That's actually how my grandfather died. He actually went missing. He was a fisherman, went missing at sea and never came back. So that's how my grandfather passed away. I think all of those things are part of my trauma. Although I have to say, he passed away when my mom was like 10. So I wasn't born yet, obviously, when he passed away. But yeah, that's how my whole family, I mean, they live in the ocean. And that's how we lost my grandfather. So, let's see. I always think of my grandmother, like what that must have done for her whole life after that, not knowing if her husband is alive or dead. Like, I just don't know how you live. I don't know how you do it. But she did. Debbie, thank you so much for your donation. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Debbie Love, I haven't seen you here before. Did I? Or maybe I missed you. So if I did, I'm so sorry, but I am happy you're here, and thank you so much for supporting the channel. I really appreciate it. Let's see. Let's see. Sherry says, I don't like driving over tall bridges too. I have a few phobias. Yeah. Yeah, in New York we have some tall ones. I mean, some like there's a bridge in Brooklyn where Brooklyn connects Brooklyn and Manhattan that the train goes over. It's one thing to have a car, but a heavy train going over that bridge is always like, whenever I do it, it's like, can you get to the other side, please, quickly? Yes, it's very, and I think in Virginia, there's one bridge that just literally skims the water. It feels like you drive over that bridge and it literally, you feel like you're underwater because it's so low. And it's just like, oh my goodness. I don't know how you do that every day. The few times I've visited Virginia is like, can we get off of this, please? So anyways, moving on from there, we're talking about diving a lot. What else is there? Suits. Oh, for those of you who don't have Netflix and want to view Suits and want to watch the series, there is a 7-day free from Peacock, they are the ones from NBC that's been streaming it long before Netflix has it, and so you can actually sign up and be able to view it for 7 days. So the link is going to be in the show notes if you want to check it out. How to view it for 7 days. Again, not everybody have Netflix or can afford Netflix, or you may not be eligible to get like a free week, but you have to sign up. And then with stuff like this, make sure if you are not able, you're not going to be able to continue it, make sure you cancel within that 7 days so you don't get charged. So definitely, if you want to, and you have access to it and can view it from Peacock, definitely I'm going to put the link there so you can have it free for 7 days and watch as much Suits as you and other shows as you want to do. So that is a cool thing. And I saw this last night. I had to laugh. Apparently there was like a award show, a television award show, I guess, for news people in the UK a couple nights ago. And all of a sudden yesterday, I kept seeing this popping up because apparently Piers Morgan, the host of the show, kind of, brought Piers Morgan into his, I guess, opening speech or whatever, introducing that, sort of like, ladies and gentlemen, there's also here Piers Morgan. And twice he brought up Piers Morgan, and apparently he was brutally booed. And I'm like, and the top left picture is his face when he was being booed. And it's kind of one of those things. It made me laugh. And like, I didn't even bother reading the articles because I frankly don't care. But it's one of those things. It's kind of like when you build a ditch or you dig a ditch for others, and you think of all the years you spent trying to get these same people and others to boo and disparage the Sussexes, and yet realizing that the ditch that he dig is the one that he is falling right into it. And that face is what he looked like when it's kind of like, wow, my own people. And this is not even people on the outside. This is his own industry. These are his peers that were booing him last night. And it's just like, yes, this is what he deserves. And he could pretend and play it off all he wants, but that God have to sting. And has this thing because it's not like they were bringing up all the nasty stuff he does. It was just that Piers Morgan is in the house kind of thing. And even then his peers were just not having him. It's like, no, we're booing you. And I think about things like that, and I'm like, you spend your whole life in a career, and you spend your whole life dedicated to something, and then you're at this age where you are clearly declining, and the only relevancy you have is inserting yourself into the Sussex's world, or at least trying to insert yourself and trying to convince others that you are part of their world. And this is what you got for it. This is all you got. Your own people booing you, And again, the same thing that they were claiming that the Sussexes, they were been recruiting and grooming people to boo and, really attack the Sussexes is what's going on them, and look at all the things that the Sussexes have done with big, I mean, hello. They were just out and about. Harry's name and face was on a big jumbotron at the football game with all of these people, and nobody boos. Everybody's like, oh my gosh, Prince Harry. Even Will Ferrell, there's a video of Will Ferrell meeting him, and Will Ferrell talking about Prince Harry. He's like talking about how cool it was to meet him, and how it was like, wow. He was, and he's like, he's a really great guy, and he was just like, it was really surreal. I mean, this is, Will Ferrell is a big celebrity in Hollywood, and they're all like, wow, nobody is booing the Sussexes, no matter what these cesspool people do. And it's very interesting to me to watch that, amazing. And then there is this. Okay, someone is saying they cannot hear me. Is my mic still okay? Lydia is saying she can. Oh my goodness. Mrs. S is saying that there's no sound. Is it still going in and out? So let me know. Or maybe just refresh. So let me know if you're having issues. And I really do have to troubleshoot my mic because this is craziness. At least keep okay. So and Angelina says it's fine. So others are saying that it's fine. So maybe just refresh and see if that works. Lola said it's okay. So thank you guys so much for letting me know. Maybe I have to get new mic and another new mic. I'm like, oh my gosh, how many of these things am I gonna have to get? So okay. So if you're having problems, maybe try refreshing a little bit and see if that works. And hopefully, because I want everybody to hear. But anyways, Prince Andrew, just in case you thought, because, the mess with Prince Andrew's life, that, the UK's establishment will finally give up on the mess of Prince Andrew. And he's finally not, it was supposedly, quote unquote working royal, and finally he's just basically wasting away at the royal lodge and all of that nonsense. And then you get stuff like this and you realize, wow, the royal family really is above the law. It kind of sinks in that, hopefully the UK people who have not been outraged at all to hear any of this, he is, it's just business as usual with how they deal with the royals and how they cover up the stuff going on with the royals. And this is like, I don't even understand how they get away with this stuff, but they do. And here we are again. Prince Andrew's government files will remain secret until 2065, meaning Prince Andrew will not be alive at this time. So you will not know what happened with him when he worked as a trade envoy for the UK. No, you will know nothing. And we know from then he obviously was fired. Well, let's read it so you can hear. As the controversial royal appears to get closer to Prince William and Kate Middleton, public information requests, or the FOI, on his official position have been rebuffed. Documents relating to the Duke of York's business trips won't be released by the Foreign Office until 2065. It has been revealed. The decision, which relates to Prince Andrew's numerous business trips between 2001 and 2011, means the files won't be available for scrutiny during his lifetime. The date was released as part of a response to a Freedom of Information request by royal biographer Andrew Lowney, who described the decision as absurd, rightly. The Duke's tenure ended in 2011 after he was forced to resign when a photograph emerged of him meeting Jeffrey Epstein in New York just after the financier had been released from jail after serving 18 months sentence for sexual offenses. Under the Freedom of Information Act 2000, documents relating to the royal household are exempt. And so all this mess that has gone on, including, diplomats and stuff really complaining about how awful Andrew was in his role as a trade envoy, whatever he was for the UK. None of that. No one is going to be able to, not in our lifetime anyway, unless we live until 2065, gonna know what really happened with Prince Andrew. And of course, the British government has a vested interest in making sure these secrets, because we know the royal family, the government used the royal family to basically trade arms with, Middle East, the Middle East royal monarchies. So they had these, arms deals and all of that stuff that there is, I think Declassified did this whole series, and we've talked about this on this podcast. I think last year, actually, it was happening when that whole bullying thing came out and that airing thing with MBS and Meghan, that they were claiming that Meghan is wearing MBS thing. Well, all around that time, right up by the Oprah interview time and all of that time when the British press were attacking, we were tweeting declassified articles about how the government uses the royal family in these arms deals with Mideast monarchies. And so Prince Andrew was a big part of that he would do the stuff like that for the British government. So I would assume that they don't want any of that being public. They don't want any of the things Andrew has done, and that's one of the reasons they have to protect Andrew. And we talk about this all the time, like, oh my gosh, the royal family and Andrew, that they are rehabbing Andrew and all of these things. They pretty much have to do what Andrew wants them to do. Why? Because Andrew knows all of the skeletons that's in the closet. He knows where the bodies are buried. They have to protect him, and protecting Andrew and protecting these documents is not necessarily protecting. This is protecting themselves. The British government is protecting themselves because of what I am sure Andrew had to do for them, and that's why they keep protecting him. That's why the Metropolitan Police didn't pursue the charges or even the case with Virginia. They're like, no, we're not reopening it. That's why it's all been under the rug. That's also why, even the cash for access, cash for honor scheme, if that went ahead, then there have to be discovery and all of those things. And you're going to find out the ins and outs of King Charles, who is also part of all of these arms deals and all of that stuff. All of that stuff would come out. All of that stuff would come out, especially their relationship with these Middle Eastern kingdoms and all the arms that they've been trading. All of that stuff that's going to come out. That's why they keep burying it under the rug. That's why, and so, and Lola Love rightly is saying, what does the Heritage Foundation have to say about that? Exactly. Andrew has the right to keep his records private, but Harry doesn't. Hypocrites. Right. This is exactly what you would think that really disgusting heritage guy from the UK who's trying to get the US government to expose Harry's whereabouts and his travel and all of that nonsense. He wants all of that from Harry, who has done nothing. But nobody is saying a word about Andrew. No one is saying a word about Andrew. The fact that no one, and again, this is a historian trying to get correct records about what Andrew's time as the trade envoy for the UK. And so it's just like, yeah, they will protect Andrew because, again, heaven knows the stuff, and knowing the UK and knowing how their government, when Harry says if people would pay the 10% of the attention they give, the attention they give to us, if they would put 10% on the British royal family, it would make a whole difference. Because then if people put a spotlight on the royal family, they'll see the dirty deeds. And that's why when a lot of historians read Prince Harry's book, they got a lot of stuff from Harry's book for history that they did not get from they couldn't get from the royal family, because a lot of the records for the royal family are secret. They refuse to give out, whether it's war records, whether, family members from, like the Queen's mother, their wills, all of that stuff. Every single thing is secret. Nobody can have it. So when the UK, especially the UK press, is screaming at shows like, The Crown and stuff, are like, oh, it's historically incorrect. That's why the historian last year was like, look, if it's incorrect, it's the royal family's fault. Because we want the documents. This is the FOI was filed by a historian trying to get, and they're trying to get the record straight about what happened with Andrew's time when he was not, and all these diplomats and stuff were complaining about Prince Andrew. They're trying to get the correct information, and the government and the royal family has shut it down. Just like they shut down, the Queen's wealth, nobody knows how much money she had. People can guess. Her will, yeah, same thing. Prince Philip's will, all secret. All of them secret. You cannot get any of their wills. Nothing. So basically, people are just going and they're, and that's kind of how the UK operates, on speculation. So the royal family could have plausible deniability. We never said that. That was the press. You're believing the press. And so it's just... So there's all this mess going on, and you wouldn't know it because why? They distract everyone because, again, they have groomed their readers to believe that the two people who has left and have nothing to do with all that mess, They are the people that you should hate, not the royal family who are hiding all the stuff from you and taking your taxpayer dollars and all of that stuff. All of that stuff that's hidden and you're paying for and hidden. Oh no, that let's not think about that at all. Let's focus on Harry and Meghan, who are just breathing in California. They're the ones you should hate. Unbelievable. Teresa says, also Philip's Uncle Mountbatten, his secrets are hidden. Yeah, all of their secrets are hidden. The Queen Mother, all of them, their wills and everything. Even, people have gone to court to, to challenge it and nothing. All of it hidden. Even the things like, say, the king's consent and all of those things, they had promised that all of that stuff would be, they would be open about it. They were open about one thing, and I have not heard them be open about anything else that King Charles has given consent or, withheld consent for. And it's unbelievable that people just accepted it. They absolutely just accept it. And but let's hate Harry and Meghan. Unbelievable. We're from Shutter Island. Coco and some tennis, something a little bit more uplifting. Our girl Coco, at least my girl, I'm just putting that on you. My girl Coco, she is through to the semifinals, the first teenager since obviously Serena did it in 2001. And thank you, WTA, for that little fact. I didn't know that fact about the dates of Serena, but yeah, Coco is 19 and she is she just beat this girl 6-2 yesterday. And it's so funny because that girl had, what's her name? Ostapenko. She beat the world number one the day before, like, I don't know, 6-2, 6-1, something like that. So she destroyed world number one, Iga Swiatek. And Coco yesterday beat her 6-2. And would you know this girl is doing, basically making excuses for Coco destroying her at 6-2. Meanwhile, Coco was so nice and saying such nice things about her. In an interview, this girl, Ostapenko, is saying that, Coco won because they played the match during the day and she was tired. They should have done a night match. They basically saying that they gave Coco an advantage, which is so false because this girl is only playing singles. Coco was playing women's doubles and mixed doubles. Coco has not had a day off. So when she's not doing singles, she is playing doubles. And so I think that she got knocked out of the mixed doubles, but I think she's in the semifinals of the women's doubles. And so she's playing every single day. And this girl had the nerve to form her mouth and basically, saying that, basically accusing the USTA of favoring Coco by making them play during the day yesterday. Meanwhile, this girl the day before had the whole day off while Coco had to be out there playing tennis. And it's just like, girl, and then she said to in her press conference that Coco didn't do a whole lot to win the game. I was like, girl, you lost 6-2. This is not something you should be saying. Meanwhile, Coco was really, really nice to her, And it's so funny because the day before I was learning a little bit about Ostapenko. Apparently, her mom is Ukrainian and her dad is Ukrainian and Nigerian. So I don't know if her dad is black. I don't know. I didn't see a picture of him and she didn't say, but she was all in braids. And if you look at her, she just looks like a, sort of light hair, blonde, white girl. But she's apparently her dad is part Nigerian. So I don't know. So it seemed like she is mixed race from what I'm reading. I don't know for sure. So I was like, oh, well, that's really cool. And I was just really, and then she said that and I was like, girl, bye. Just bye. I'm like, why you have to do that? And Coco was so nice to her too. But anyways, oh wait, Karen Werner is here. Karen Werner is going off to the Invictus Games. She says, hey guys, at the bank, tightening up some loose ends before travel tomorrow from Germany. I'm going to Dubai. Oh wow. So it's a lot to do. Still fighting with my suitcase. Yay, Karen. Have a safe trip. I'm not jealous at all. And I know none of us are jealous, right? We are not jealous of Karen at all. I will send you an email, Karen. So safe travels. That's so exciting. Yes, I'm not jealous. I am so not jealous. So Karen was doing Dubai, Turkey, and wow, we also take the train to Paris. So she is traveling around. Wow, Karen. So Karen and Duchess of Success and are world travelers. But I will say, I was really happy yesterday when I saw the Duchess of Success. I know she left Turkey because they were having some serious flooding in Turkey, and so I don't know if it was close to where she was staying, but they were having some serious flooding there. As we know, the environment is just wow, it's craziness happening with the floodings and fires and stuff. So I was really happy. But please pray for the people of Turkey because they are getting hit hard. So yeah, but safe travels, Karen. And Dubai. Cupcake says that Dubai is hot, hot, hot. Well, if you mean weather, I mean hot, really awesome place. But if you mean weather too, yes, I know New York right now is the same. New York it's nasty outside. It is just brutal outside. And I was sitting in the park. It was just like, oh, thank God I have some iced tea with me, lots of ice. But anyways, congratulations, Coco. Moving on, Invictus. This actually, which I can't read because it's stretched out and I don't know why it does this. Why? All the Invictus games, I can't read it. It is so stretched out. I don't know why it does it. But it's basically talking about, the games is not, yes, the medals are great, but if you made it to the games, you've already won. If you have been training and do all this stuff with the games, you have already won. It is just, and everyone, I mean, these medals are so precious to the athletes. And we've seen like 2022 with the athletes going to schools and stuff and encouraging the kids and talking to the kids about the Invictus Games and their medals and the medals so proudly worn around their necks. But again, Invictus Games Foundation is reminding us it's so much more important than the games. If you've made it there, you are already a winner. So yeah, but Invictus Games is amazing, and I'm actually going to stay there. I'm going to stay in the chat for a bit before we end. But yes, I'm telling you, I love my Twitter feed right now because, again, it's mostly just Invictus, Beyonce, and our queens dancing and hanging out with billionaires and all that wonderful stuff. Please, from today on straight through the Invictus Games, I literally want to hear nothing else about them. I certainly don't want to see any of their negativity. I am just going to be blocking and muting people if I'm seeing any of that nonsense. This is all going to be about Invictus Games and Heart of Invictus. And Beyonce, if she pops up somewhere else with our faves, they're in the hive, so that's fine. So yeah. Lady T says, glad I'm working from home today. 100 degrees in Maryland. Oh my gosh. That's how it kind of feels. And again, I was outside in the park this morning when I had to run home to do this. It was hot. I didn't look at what the temperature was, but would I be surprised if it's in the, going on 90 something? Would not. It is really hot. Oh, right. Oh, you're in New York too. She's like, it's so hot in New York City. Right? It's so hot in New York. That's why I'm sitting in the AC. It is very, very hot in New York. I'm like, which is so wild because I'm like, wait a minute. This is the end of September. I mean, the end of August. Shouldn't we be going to a little cooler now? I'm like, I don't remember the end of August being so hot. Maybe I forgot. Turns out Lady D said, oh yes, I think we looked at that before. I saw another one that said it's hot in Italy. Where did I just see that? Oh gosh, this thing just keeps jumping on me. So it's just like, I don't know. Sorry, someone was just saying it's hot. Oh, Raffaella says, Lady T two in Italy, hot. So I guess in a lot of parts of the world, it's really, really hot. Karen M says, Petal, do you know what happened about the Commonwealth Games? Have no idea because Canada doesn't want to do. Oh, that is the article I forgot. I knew there was something I was forgetting. Birmingham, I think it was Birmingham where they had the Commonwealth Games last. Remember on this podcast, we were talking about how crazy it is that England, the UK, held the Jubilee. They held the what is it? The that other trooping, and then they hosted the Commonwealth Games for like 770 something million pounds. I think it was in Birmingham. Well, there was an article, I think it was yesterday. Birmingham is now basically bankrupt. They are shutting down programs and are only funding, they're basically shutting down everything, and only things that they must spend money on that they do. That same city that hosted the Commonwealth Games that they were lying to people about, oh no, it's going to boost the economy, just like they lied to people about the, about whether it's the coronation nobody asked for, the Jubilee nobody asked for, the trooping of the colors nobody asked for, all of those things. They were selling it to people as, oh no, it's going to boost the economy. None of this has happened. None of this has happened. And now Birmingham, and I think it's Birmingham, UK squaddies, please correct me if I'm wrong. That is Birmingham, where the last Commonwealth Games is. They are now pretty much bankrupt because of it. And so it's just like, and so now we know Australia said no, they don't want to host it. Canada is like, no, we don't want to host it because it's not cost effective. It makes no sense. It is not boosting economy. Why? Because the top athletes that you just saw at the World Games or at the Olympics, they don't show up for the Commonwealth Games. They don't go. It is not, and again, we all know that came from, the Commonwealth Games is one of those things that's just basically there to prop up the royals. Ain't nobody here for that. And so my thing is, Bonnie Mighty saying, yes, it's Birmingham, yes. And so I'm going to try to remember and bring that article tomorrow, and so we can look at it together. But yeah, they are struggling financially. This, again, this games was supposed to boost their economy. It's not. Just like they took all that money for the coronation that, nobody asked for. It was supposed to boost economy. It has not. People have lost because of it. And all of this stuff, they've been, claiming that, oh, no, if we use taxpayer money, and it has benefited no one but the royal family and the British press and the government. The people are suffering because of it. So unless the British people start speaking out, they're going to keep doing this mess. Rootsy said it's hot. England is hot too. Man. Mrs. S says, oh, pedal 95 in parts of New York. See, I knew it was close to 90. Yep, 95, 93 on the East Coast. Yeah, that is exactly how it felt. And I was in the park. I left there obviously it was 15 minutes before I jumped here and ran here. And it was just like sweat was pouring down my back. And literally I was sitting on a bench. I was not walking. I was literally sitting on a bench with sweat pouring down my back while drinking iced tea. And it was still, so yeah, it is really hot here. But let's see. Yes, Lydia, all good news ahead. All good news ahead with the Invictus Games. And I think that's why they're coming and attacking the Invictus Games, because the Commonwealth Games is, the royal family name is all wrapped up in the Commonwealth Games. And if that fails, then that speaks volumes to where the royal family is. And so unless those independent news outlets are reporting about the Commonwealth, you very rarely will see that in the mainstream press, at least, speaking the truth as it is with where the Commonwealth Games is. Nobody wants to host this. The last I heard about the Commonwealth Games is, Canada was like, well, let the UK host it. That's their games. Let them spend the money. They don't want to spend the money. Vancouver's like, we already have the Invictus Games coming up in 2025. We're not hosting it. So, yeah. I think the Invictus, that has gone by, the sell-by date for the Commonwealth Games has come and gone. That games need to go away. It literally needs to go away, because it's very much tied up with was the Empire Games. It was very much tied up into that. And so people are not here for it. And I say good. Let's see. Um, Mangaza says, I also do love Meghan and her two friends. They are all stunning. I know. It's like Beyonce is like, ooh, look at my black sisters. Yeah. Let's see. A few more before we end. Michelle says Chuck's pocket got a boost. Yeah, of course. And his, he got to show up at the Commonwealth Games and in his fancy car. I mean, it's really there for the royal family. It's there to lift up the royal family, and it just nobody else benefits from these things. This is literally there to uplift the royal family, and everybody else is shit can suffer. I would never understand this. I never understand this. Sylvia says, whatever they decide about the games, to me, it's King Charles III's problem. Harry said those institutions are gutter rotten. And boy, the gutter has a basement, because the basement of the gutter is where they are. So, yeah. Cookies and Cream. Awesome moderator. Cookies and Cream is here. She says, those countries are realizing that having an unroyal family is worthless. Yeah, I mean, it took them a while, but they're definitely coming around to see it. Alma says, the Invictus Games are benevolent. The Commonwealth Games just used up finances to benefit the royals. Yeah. And they're not well attended at all for the money that's being spent. And one of the reasons Australia said no, I think it was supposed to be like $1 billion, and it jumped to like $5 billion. And, it's just like, we're not spending. They can't justify that kind of cost. They cannot justify for games that is, one, not well attended. And it just, what's the point? What is the point of a monarchy that they're trying to get rid of? There is no point to this. So when Canada and Australia, their biggest allies and the two biggest countries of the Commonwealth, are saying no, then you're in trouble. And so who knows? Maybe they just maybe it's time the royal family realize, like, this is of no value. Let's just squash it. Who knows? We'll see what they'll do with it. But anyways, Veronica says, nobody wants to see the colonial games. Nobody. And I totally agree. So anyways, guys, I think that's it. That's all I got. Thank you so much for hanging out with me this afternoon. Those of us in the East Coast, please try to stay cool. I was gonna go back in the park, but I think not. I think I'll stay home by my fan. I'm not an air conditioning person. So I'll stay by my fan and stay away from the outside. But anyway, thank you to our awesome moderators, Lydia Church, Nelly, Karen M, Cookies and Cream, and Blackweed. Wait, did I say Blackweed? I don't know. Did I say you today? But if you're here and I missed you, thank you so much for you guys doing an awesome job in protecting our space. Thank you to all of you who just coming in and hanging out. I appreciate it so very much. Thank you to our wonderful 2 Cents crew who support the channel on a monthly basis, and those of you who support just by getting a super chat or super stickers or donations, whether here or PayPal and Cash App. Thank you all so much. I really appreciate it and your support. Again, thank y'all. Couldn't do this without you. And yes, I will, Mrs. S, I will pass your love on to Pamela. I'm sure she'll be really happy to hear from you. So anyways, I love you guys. And have a great day. If you're here and you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe, as the little scrolly thing at the bottom says. Click the notification bell so you know when we drop a video. If you're having problems getting notifications, unclick the notification bell and click it again. Turn it off and turn it on again. Sometimes it's crazy and does that. Sometimes I don't even get Baron's thing about his podcast, and so I've had to do that, and then it starts working again. So try it and see if it works. So anyways, I love you all, and I will see you next time. Bye, everyone.